Hello, guys. I'm let's say it again. I always say it. I'm gonna try to make this short, but just a quick check-in, and most of this I'll go over in Sunday service. Another big week. We're going through another big week. This last week was a lot different. This was a for me. I'll speak for me. A transformative and spiritual week. And I know I've said every week this year, every week I'm like, oh my goodness, good energy this week, big energy coming in this week, da, da, da. But it has been every week, I'd say since Christmas. But this last week took me out. I had to take yesterday, Thursday, and literally take the day off. I usually try to catch up on things or get back to people I couldn't through email and blah, 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 or get reports out that are late, yada, yada, but I just, I had to disconnect yesterday. It was a great week, but exhausting. The messages coming for myself and for other people are layered. They're deeper. They're more than, is he gonna call me and are we gonna get together? And like the messages are like on a soul level for people. Like people are, there's a big divide coming. It's been coming for a while. There's the people that are staying high vibe and moving to the next level, and there's the people that are still stuck in the low vibe stuff. But mostly I've been working with people pretty high vibe, going through transformations and integrating all these energy waves we've been going through and literally leveling up. It's exciting, but for me this week, I've been seeing things on layers, and they're showing me connections with. There's like a core group of you, and you'll know who you are, that I work with all the time, because we're just like we're just in sync, and we're like got a lot of the same things happening in our lives, or did happen, or whatever. And that core group, my guys are showing me how we line up in past lives. It's amazing. It's amazing. Where we've had connections in past lives and how that played out and how it's carrying over here and why we had to cross paths in this lifetime, and that's why I had to go on Etsy to begin with, and that's how we would all make contact and blah blah blah. And the message is like, a lot of us are I don't know what this means really, but like this is the last time we're going to be here. I don't know what that means. We're going somewhere else after this lifetime. So in this lifetime we had to wrap up a lot of karma, good and bad. Those are the messages I've been getting all week, and it's taken a lot of time, a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. So if you haven't heard from me, that's probably why. But it's awesome, and so I want to tell you about some stuff that came through too. Those of you that I've figured this out this week, that we had crossed paths in previous lifetimes, I'm sure I'll talk to you and we'll talk about it. I'm not going to blast your business all up here, even though it's not anything about this lifetime, but still, I respect everybody's privacy. Okay, so the other thing, they wanted me to start talking about sort of like pop culture-y news stuff, because they wanted to show how what we're talking about, the energy waves and the things being exposed and justice coming in and 2025 being different. They wanted to show how that is playing out on a larger scale, like it's playing out in our personal lives, but it's also playing out on a larger scale. So I'm supposed to talk about that, and I'm not going to get into like the gossipy parts of it, just like look at this, see how this is happening, and that's because of this energy and blah 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 blah. Okay, so this is going to be just a little bit different. What won't be different is I'll be interrupted and it will be loud. See? Okay. So, so yeah, the point is, the energy waves we're experiencing right now, all of us, aren't just affecting like our mood, our relationships. They're literally playing out on the world stage, right? In our headlines, in pop culture, and yes, of course, in our personal life too. I'm sorry, I thought they were going to be quiet. I guess not. So you may notice things feel like intense. If you haven't, just wait. Things are surfacing. People are snapping. Secrets are spilling. So like whether it's celebrity breakdowns, celebrity court cases, wink wink, major global protests, like long lost truth finally coming to light. This energy wave is about exposure, truth, and alignment. Okay. This current cycle that we've been in for the last couple of weeks is what I call sort of purge and realign. It's a wave of purging and realigning. It's purging truths, whether it's truth you have to admit to yourself, truth of what somebody did, whatever. It's all purging, and so we can all realign. It's forcing out everything that's been hidden or repressed. And again, both in the world and like within ourselves. Okay, so let's talk about what they were guiding you to talk about so we can make the connection, right? We're seeing a lot of whistleblowers, celebrity feuds, political revelations, just people saying enough is enough, right? It's not just drama, it's collective shadow work. It may be entertaining or frustrating or whatever, but if you really pull back and look at it, you can see how it's playing out area after area after area after area. Excuse me. So like when celebrities go through very public breakdowns or call-outs, it often reflects what's happening on a deeper energetic level. So if you take the time, you can look at like what you see play out in your life, what you see play out in your friend's life, your family's life, blah, blah, blah. And then you look on TV and, oh, gee, it's playing out with this person or that person or this group or that group or whatever. You can see how the energy waves are like affecting not just us, like it's affecting everything. We're all being asked to kind of examine our own boundaries, our values, our truth. So I want to be careful with this because they do want me to make the connection between things we're seeing, like quote unquote on TV, but I also want to be careful with it. So let's just say there's a certain trial going on. People are calling out unfair treatment, or like things that have just gone on too long. People getting away with things for far too long. That's the energy of disillusionment, of stepping out of the illusion and into authenticity. So on a personal level, you might be feeling triggered or extra sensitive, noticing people revealing their true colors, being pushed to speak up or set boundaries. You might be feeling pulled toward change, but not really sure how or like where to start. The 3 waves coming in this week is really going to help with shaking the surface so your real life can begin, your aligned, honest life, your path. Yeah, sorry guys, I just keep looking for someplace quiet. Haven't quite found it, but we'll get there. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm also trying to think how to word the things I'm getting. Okay, so let's just talk about, like I said, there's a certain court case going on right now. Big court case, big producer, you know who I'm talking about, I'm sure. But what's happening with this is part of like a massive karmic wave, sort of sweeping through, every place, but in this instance, it's sweeping through the entertainment industry. His case represents like a fall of false empires. It's not just him, obviously, but it is exposing things that, have gone on too long in his sort of, his part of the world. But again, it's not just him. There will be more. But it's the fall of these false, these illusions, these facades, these masks, like energetic structures built on secrecy, on power imbalance, and manipulation. Manipulation's a big thing. These energy waves are exposing a lot of manipulation, because a lot of manipulation's been going on for a very long time. From the smallest things, that your coworker does, to like the biggest things that the government does. Spiritually, we'll just use him as the example, but he is being stripped bare. Everything built on shadow contracts, I'll call them, things happening in the industry, sacrifices made, control, illusion, it's all unraveling. This is not personal, it's collective. He's just a very visible face of the music industry's deep, long-standing karmic debt. Deep, long-standing karmic debt. There are more revelations coming, not just for him, but for other people who've been hidden behind the fame and the money and the gatekeeping. The gatekeeping is a big thing. These energy waves are taking that down. So expect whistleblowers, surprise evidence, and allies turning against each other, which we saw, if you're paying attention, we saw that happen yesterday play out in the political arena. Again, I'm not going to say any names, but if you're paying attention, you know who I'm talking about. So these people are all going to start turning against each other because people start to panic. If you've ever heard, there is no honor among thieves, right? So people who have been doing dirt together, then protecting each other and hiding stuff, now they're starting to panic. Light is being shown on all their stuff, right? There is no honor there. They're going to turn on each other, and they're all scrambling to stay in charge of the ship. I'm getting that this is a root chakra purge of the celebrity and political matrix. Control, sex, money, power. The spirit is saying nothing built on domination will stand. They're showing me the way they're showing it is like a front page news article, where it says, and again, I'm not going to say names, but DT and racist political machinery is what it says. And then under it says, the last gasp of the old world. DT and the racist political machinery, the last gasp of the old world. But they show it like an older newspaper heading. I don't know. He is the figurehead for a dying system. His energy is very chaotic, like scattered. Like I'm trying to, all these balls are falling and I can't catch them. Very desperate, but also still very magnetic to people who fear change. People are very, like, everyone can see systems crumbling. Everybody. And people are very, very afraid of it. People fear the unknown, which is natural, I guess. But some of us are happy to see things crumble. Some who benefited from the way things were are very, very scared for things to crumble. His legal troubles will continue. But the deeper issue is that he represents like the shadow of America's unhealed karma, right? Racism, white supremacy, stolen power. America has a lot of karma that has to play out. And so what my guys are saying is that, like, what's unfolding is like the final test and the final, like, this is it. We can't run from our karma anymore. We've run for hundreds of years, right? And I'm hearing we still choose the lie even when the truth is screaming. The racist systems and figures around him are being exposed too. But I have to point out, exposure doesn't mean immediate change. Just be patient. It's going to be a while. It took us a long time to get here. It's going to take us a long time to clear out this karma. We're in a timeline battle, right? One where like humanity either ascends through discomfort and honesty, or delays progress by choosing to stay in comfort and delusion. So watch for more violent rhetoric from politicians. A false, how do I say this? Like a false sort of peace offering, or like rebrand of hateful ideas, like a way to continue on with what we want, but we're just gonna shift it a little, make it look like we're doing something better. It's I'm getting false peace offering, and they keep highlighting rebrand. It's just a rebrand. We're gonna still try to do our hateful shit, but we're gonna make it look different. Do you know what I mean? Look for cracks in alliances, again, behind the scenes. They're gonna turn on each other. The energy around DT is already breaking down. Nobody trusts anybody, nobody likes anybody. Everybody will push everyone else under the bus to save their own ass, basically. But the system he represents will only dissolve if the collective decides it's no longer acceptable. And it's all lining up now because, again, 2025 is the year when people are finally standing up and like, hey, this is not okay. This is not what I want. This is not fair. But again, there's that divide with the people who are tired, had enough of always getting the short end of the stick, and the people who are used to having the long end of the stick and they don't want to give it up. Every headline, every lawsuit, protest, it's all part of this frequency war, right? Truth versus illusion, power versus control, awakening versus fear. And so we're being asked to see beyond the media's fear-based filters, take responsibility for our own energetic alignment, and create new systems instead of just screaming at the old ones, right? It's okay. Yeah, we're sitting here and we're this messed up and we don't like this, but we have to step out and fix it. We can't just keep complaining. This has been ongoing. I have been complaining about politics since I was old enough to know about politics. Did I do anything? Not really. Not till 2020 and all the protests and all the stuff. Not really. So we can't like keep complaining about it and doing nothing. And again, this is in our everyday lives and on a global scale. This shift is happening. There's no way to deny it, put it off, whatever. You just have to choose how you're going to handle it. But also, this is why a lot of empaths and HSPs and starseeds or whatever, you're going to start feeling exhausted and overwhelmed if you're not already. You're processing collective trauma every day while trying to stay grounded, while trying to stay afloat in your own personal life. You're also drowning in all this collective energy. Collective trauma is how it's coming through. So your role is to stay clear and not get lost in the storm. I'm hearing the earth is recalibrating, and so are the hearts of humans. Do not worship false power. Real leaders will rise from the ruins. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. You are not here to carry the entire collapse. just to hold your light in the middle of it. You're here to hold the light. Be the calm. I'm going to get into, with the Sunday service, I'll get into the energy waves coming in this week, but there's 3 important ones coming in. But for now, they're telling me to say, as always, clear your energy, clear and ground your energy daily. Things are swirling. So be sure every day to come back to your center, disconnect from everything, get quiet, just even if it's 5-10 minutes. They want you to, what does that mean? Notice what's showing up that's trying to teach or free you. It's trying to teach you something or trying to free you from something. Clear what's no longer aligned. That includes relationships, thought patterns, habits that don't fit you anymore, habits that don't, support you going on to your next level, your next chapter. And they keep focusing on, don't be afraid of the truth. It's not here to punish you, it's here to liberate you. The collective is healing. The individual, on an individual basis, we're awakening. And what we're seeing in the news, on social media, and in our day-to-day chaos is really just a call to come back to self. Stay aware, stay grounded, stay anchored, and remember, these waves, they're not trying to drown you. It's trying to carry you somewhere. It's trying to take you somewhere. Again, I'll go through all this, what's coming in this week and what we can do when I do Sunday service. Send y'all positive energy.